What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? That was a quick clap. Today we have two Smart Shot timers from Shooters Global, and yes, it's very difficult for me to say Smart Shot timers. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about the U-Grip first, then we're going to talk about the Go Shot timer, then we're going to talk about the app, because the app is where the magic truly happens, what makes these timers a little bit different, a little bit more special than other timers out in the market. After that, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm awesome, and then you can continue your day. All kidding aside, at the time I'm making this video, we're closing in on 50,000 subs. So thank you guys. Never thought I'd get to 50,000 subs. That's mind-blowing, so thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, the U-Grip first. So the base is a magnetic base. It can be easily pulled apart and easily separated. The part that clips into your pocket or your kit or plate carrier or whatever is a very, very sturdy kit. And then obviously as you're shooting and you want to check the timer, you just peel it apart because it's magnetic. You look at the timer and you don't have to deal with taking the clip on and off. That's so annoying dealing with those clips, and you don't have to do that with this one. The controls are very, very easy. Even though there's a lot in the menu that we're going to take a look at in a second, controlling it is very, very easy. The center button here turns it on. Is the how you activate the timer to start the timer. Also an enter button as well if you are in the menu. And then the up and down is just the up and down to scroll through the menu. As simple as that. The screen is very large. It's a very big, easy to read screen. Not only is it easy to read in sunlight, also low light as well because it's backlit, so no issues there. They are water resistant. I've used this out in the rain. I don't know if you submerge it underwater for a long time if it's going to last, but it is fine. A quick drop in the puddle I've done. Plenty of range trips in the rain, unfortunately, and the snow, and I didn't have any issues there. And I have seen some like rubber neoprene type cases as well if you want to protect it a little more. Those cases don't come with it, but they are available. The battery life is super, super long. The way Shooters Global rates it is like you can use it every day for 30 days, I used it, I go to the range once or twice a week, and I used it for a few months before I had to recharge the battery. And now the battery's probably around 30-ish% charge from the second charge that I've had. So the battery lasts for a very, very long time. And speaking of recharging it, it is a magnetic recharge. So if you have a magnetic wireless recharger, you can just slap it on that to recharge it. And on the bottom, it's USB-C. I always prefer USB-C because so many of my devices take that. Also on the bottom, there's a little loop, whatever, for a lanyard if you want to put it on a lanyard as well. Now this obviously works for live fire. It also works suppressed. It works CO2, airsoft, and it also works dry fire. So that's one cool thing, is obviously it works live fire. We could all guess that, but it actually works dry fire. It's sensitive enough. You can adjust the sensitivity enough to pick up the trigger press on dry fire. I thought that was really cool. It also has a 2-year warranty as well. I do get a little nervous when we have so much technology in here, but it does have a 2-year warranty, which is great. All right, let's go take a look at the menu real quick on the U-Grip. Again, it's not difficult, but let me go through some of the features with you so you get an idea. All right, we're going to start by going down to this button that says Common, and these are like preset controls that you can have set up. So for example, you could have one like 9mm, one suppressed, one dry fire, and if we go into one of those presets, this is how you control all the different settings. So you can increase or decrease the sensitivity. You can make it a random delay or no delay or a predetermined amount of seconds. Sets is if you want to run the same drill over and over and over, how many times you want to run it. Time limit is like, so when if you put it on a 1 second time limit, when the timer beeps, it will beep again 1 second later, so you can gauge if you're hitting a certain goal. Shots comes into play with your sets. So if you know exactly how many shots you're going to be taking, for example, say you're doing a Mozambique drill, 2 to the body, 1 to the head, and you want to do that 5 times. You'd go up to sets, mark that 5 times, 3 shots each set, and then under pause time is how much time in between the sets, and obviously you can increase and decrease that. And that is as simple as that for your different presets. Start, obviously if you're on start and you hit the side button here, it's going to beep. and that's when the timer, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. That's when the timer starts. Now if we go up to shoot practice and go into this menu, there's only a couple things in here. This is your settings for shoot practice. Then if you want to do dry fire practice. In the history is just some statistics and how many times you've used this. As you see, I use this timer 398 times, and then you can go in there and delete and look at those details. Statistics is exactly what you would think it is, your splits, your time, and all the things you've done. This is easier, in my opinion, to look at in the app than it is in the timer. But if you're at the range, you can easily look at it in the timer as well. Settings is if you want to turn the Bluetooth on and off. So it does have an auto rotation thing where if you want it to go the other way, rotate the screen the other way, which is very helpful if it's hanging around your neck. Language, date, time, clear the history, reset, about the timer. That's that there, and then power off on the bottom. I know I went through the menu quick. If I go through every single little feature and menu that these things have, this video is going to be an hour long. I'm not kidding, there's that much. So while there's a lot in there, again, you don't need to use all of those features if you don't want to. You can literally turn this thing on, push the button, and use it like any other timer, and then all the cool guy features and app is there if you want to use them that you don't need to. You can use it as a standalone timer. Now, the U-grip is a lot more expensive than the Go. It's $2.99. Now, before you go down in the keyboard and make a comment, I know you want to, or turn the video off, don't make up your mind. Don't make up an opinion. Don't say anything until I show you the app. Once I go through the app, then you can make up your mind, your opinion, because there is a lot of really useful, a lot of cool things in the app. As always, I will put some links down below. Hopefully, I can find you a good deal. I'll do my best. We'll see. All right, before we go over the Go timer, I need to thank the biggest supporter of the channel, Natchez Shooting and Outdoors. They have you covered for all of your optics, your pew-pew accessories, reloading, and fishing. We're getting close to springtime and turkey hunting season. They have a lot of that stuff as well, but I'm excited for fishing. We're getting close to spring and warm enough weather. Can't wait to go fishing. Anyway, the links to Natchez is down you know where if you want to check them out. I appreciate it. So the Go timer is obviously shorter. It's a little taller, a little thicker. I'm sorry, it's a little taller, but much shorter. The screen is a little smaller as well, but the one thing I want to make sure you notice is it mounts vertically. So if you have it on your belt or molly or a plate carrier, whatever, it's facing up at the shooter, so you don't have to take it off of the magnetic base like you do the U-grip. It is slightly louder than the U-grip. The smaller Go timer is here. They're both very, very loud. You can easily hear them with AirPro, and even if you double up AirPro, that's not a problem. It's not as waterproof, so I definitely wouldn't submerge the Go timer. It has a slightly shorter battery life. With that said, the battery life is still stupid. It lasts a very, very long time, and it does still work on dry fire as well, which I thought was cool. The recharging is just USB-C. There is no magnetic charging, if that's a big deal for you. The app is how you control the timer. If you notice, there's only two buttons on the timer. There's a big button that starts it, and then the small button on here will go through the different presets. So you have the common one, airsoft, 22LR, that's built into it, and anything you want to change has to be done on the app, and that will connect to the timer automatically. Again, you don't need the app. The app is 100% optional. You could literally just turn this on, hit the button, and be good to go. But yeah, so the cost of this one is like half. It's around 150 beans. And of course, as always, I'll put some links down below to hopefully find you a good deal. But again, don't judge these until I finish. Let me get through the app before you start making your dumb comments down in the comment section. Before we get into the app, I'm just going to thank Prime Armor. Prime Armor is back sponsoring videos. That's very nice of them. They've been a long time supporter of the Tiberious Gib channel. They have you covered for soft armor, ceramic armor, plate carriers, low profile plate carriers. Now they have a ton of different plate carriers and all the accessories and armor related things you're going to need. If you have the funds, if you have the disposable income, you should definitely have armor and plate carriers on your list of essential things if you have the funds. Discount code is Tiberious. It will save you a few bucks. There's a link down you know where if you want to check them out. Now let's get into it. You can pretty much control every single thing on the timer from the app. You can change the drill, start, stop, all that stuff right from the app. There's not much you can't do. I really love how you can superimpose the statistics over the video. So it can show you your first shot and your splits and the total time and everything else right on the video. And it's good for a lot of different things. If you're at the range by yourself, you can see exactly what you're doing when. If you're an instructor and you want to help people out, perfect use for their competition shooters. Great for competition shooters. As you competition shooters know, every little split half-tenth of a second can matter. And if you can shave off some time by doing something different, that's great. For me and the social media, Instagram world we live in, I love it for social media because it's something a little bit different. It's something a little fun, something slightly to stand out. Not as much anymore because these timers are becoming very popular, but I still think it's very cool. And I bet a lot of content creators will not review these timers because it's just going to show how bad of a shooter they truly are. I've been saying this since day one. I am a good shooter. I'm far from a professional. And yeah, so I don't mind showing my stuff. All right. Let's go through the menu real quick. All right, let's start off with the feed button there on the bottom. What's kind of like a social media thing where you can share your drill, what you've done, your video, whatever, with other people. Now, you don't have to do this. It's a complete option, but if you want to share your video and interact with others, you can. I don't because I'm not that social. Next is going to be shooting on the bottom, and this is the menu and how you set stage up. I think most people like me are going to use quick stage, where you choose how many targets. Say we're shooting 3 steel targets and we want to do a video. Storage is almost full. Sure, we'll worry about that later. And hey, look at me with my hat on. Let's take that off. Hello. And this is how you would start the timer and do a video here. Free shooting is very similar. This is where you can set up the timer before you do a video. So if you want to change the sensitivity, if you want to change any other setting, the number of sets, the shot limit, the time, all that stuff that was the same as the timer itself. This is how you can change that in the app. Up above that is training, and this is where you're going to set up the dry fire training in the app. To be honest, I didn't use that as much as I could. Stage library is setting up different stages. You can go in here and customize stages. These are the few that Shooters Global has in there, and if you go in public, these are all the different, and there's tons of them in here that other people have set up. And if you want to kind of copy or imitate, shoot, again, challenge yourself against what others are doing, you could play around in here for hours and hours and hours. The last thing is match mode. It's going to be good for someone who's running a match, exactly what you would expect. Next on the bottom is events. Again, people can set up different events and challenges and go against each other if you so choose to. Last but not least is going to be activity. It shows you on the particular date, like I clicked on February 2nd. These are all the different shooting times, shots, everything that I did on that particular date. It's all stored in here if you want to review it at a later time. Testing. Okay, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you have seen these timers a ton, especially the U-Grip. I've had this one for a lot longer, at least 6 months. I love that feature of superimposing the statistics over the video, but even on the videos I don't do that, you have seen this clipped in my pocket or somewhere on my kit somewhere for several months. And if you don't follow me on Instagram and Facebook, why wouldn't you? I have used this pistol, rifle, and shotgun, all three. I've used it dry fire a little bit, not a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been slacking on my dry fire, and I apologize. I think it said I used it 389 times. I think that's what it said when we went into the menu earlier. You tell me, I forgot. Plenty of running and gunning. I think a lot of people are going to use this running and gunning. We shot steel, just regular shooting and plinking and hitting and things at the range. But again, by far, my favorite feature is being able to superimpose those statistics as I'm shooting to analyze what I'm doing and try to get better. And again, it's cool for social media, and those that's the testing I did, and I think I definitely used these enough to have some good quality pros and cons here. So my biggest pro, obviously this is the first timer to incorporate all of the technology we have in this world. Like, look at our phones compared to look at the other shot timers on the market, and this is the first one to incorporate some of that really awesome technology we have out there. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. Being these can connect to the phone and you can do firmware updates and then future models, I truly think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more to come in the future. The app and the timer, the menu, is very simple. So it has a ton of features if you want them, and it's very easy to navigate and figure out. You know, you spend a range trip or two playing around with it or a little bit at the house, and you should be good to go. It's not very difficult. But if you don't want all those features, you don't need them. You can just push the button and use it as a standard timer. With the U-grip, I really love the magnetic base, how the clip is very, very sturdy in your pocket, and you don't need to take that clip on and off every single time, which can be annoying. And then when you're done, you just take the magnetic part, the timer off the magnetic base, look at it, put it back on, you're good to go. Love the magnetic charging, love that it's USB-C, how they both have dry fire sensitivity, that's fantastic. And again, there's a ton of features in there if you want them, and if you want to use the timer by itself without the features in the app, you can do so. Things I like about the Go timer, obviously it's a little less expensive. I recognize that these things are not cheap. It's very, very simple and easy to use. I like that the screen faces vertical, so if you have this down on your belt or somewhere else on your kit, you can easily look down without having to mess with it, see your time, see your splits, move on to the next drill. As far as cons, I'm not gonna say that the price is a con. I'm gonna say that it's not for everyone. I get it, 300 bucks on a timer for someone who goes to the range once a year. Maybe this isn't the right timer for you. Maybe a $40, $50 timer will fit your needs, but I think any serious shooter, then I think it's definitely worth it, because you get, again, the app and all the extra features and all the cool guy stuff that we already talked about. The one thing that happened to me a few times, and I don't think this is a big deal, but I wanted to report it, is with the magnetic base. As I'm running and gunning and bending over and doing my wannabe CrossFit exercises, or what is it called, tactical game, wannabe tactical game exercises at the range, the magnet, like I kind of rubbed up against it, and the timer fell off the magnetic base and fell to the ground. It didn't break. It didn't have any problems. I don't think it's a big deal, but it did happen a few times. So I want to mention it to you, boys and girls. All right, before you go, let me thank Shooters Global. They did send both of these out to the channel for review. I still told you the pros, cons, and what I think of them as honestly as I possibly could, but I wanted to thank them. It's very, very nice of them supporting this channel. Again, there's some links down below. Hopefully, I can find you a good deal because these things are pretty awesome, and I think you will absolutely love them. Natchez, biggest supporter of this channel. Link is also below to get you covered on all your cool guy outdoor stuff. The supporter of this video is Prime Armor. Code Tiberious. Link is also below. They got you covered for all your body armor, plate carriers, all that good stuff. All right, I'm done talking. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I will see you next video. Peace!